Nick Hart from Backstreet Boys.
Shout out to Boy Band Break.
It's Chris Kirkpatrick here. Shout out to your podcast, Boy Band Break.
Everybody, this is Howie D, and I'm listening to Boy Band Break.
Hi, Ashley Parker Angel here. Huge shout out to the Boy Band Break podcast.
This is Brad from LFO, and you are listening to Boy Band Break.
Hey, what's up? This is Jacob.
What's up? It's Dan.
What's up? It's Trevor.
And it's Eric Michael, and it's time for Boy Band Break, baby. Let's go!
Welcome back to Boy Band Break. We encourage you to take a break from your day and join us in some boy band conversation. As always, I'm Chinzia.
I'm Sophia. Welcome back.
Welcome back. This is almost birthday week for Sophia.
It is almost birthday week. Yes, it's
for those
exciting.
Who are not watching us and are just listening, Sophia's got a new do.
Yes, I thought it would be a nice change to have for my 40th. Go a little lighter, and I have it on Instagram if you want to take a look.
Have like the before and after on Instagram.
I shared the before and after on Facebook, but I made a reel of my hairdo on Instagram because why not?
Is that this one? Possibly. I think this is it. Hold on. Un momento. I've clicked the wrong button. Share. Okay. Oop. Is it this one?
Yes.
Where you're wearing the stripy shirt?
Yep, that's the one.
So it doesn't have the before picture. Okay,
the before and after picture is in Facebook.
Okay,
it's on Facebook. If you would like to go to Facebook, that would probably be better for you. It's up to you.
Facebook instead. Hold on 1 second.
Instagram, I just made a reel.
Yes. Oh, here we go. Okay, so share this tab instead. So this was Sophia's hair before, a little longer. And then here's the after.
Yes.
She's got some bangs going on. She's
no more grays.
Got some shorts.
No more grays there. I did highlight. I added toffee brown highlights, caramel / toffee balayage highlights. I had to get a new hairstylist because the other girl left to another salon. Her name is Anna. She did a very good job. So that's why I stayed at Mass Salon, because I was like, I'm not going. Yes, that's the new one. I was like, I'm not going to Shepherd and Young. That's too far.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So yes, she took a lovely video. She went around a couple times because her work. She did a very good job. So why not share it?
Why not?
It's exciting.
That's awesome.
It was great though. I really like it. It's she did a great job. It's very cute.
Very good to pamper yourself and switch her up. Why not?
That's right. Yes, it was very nice to get pampered,
Yeah. Treat yourself.
Why not?
All right. Why not? So that is coming up this week. So a happy early birthday. Hopefully
yes, it's next Friday. We are recording this on Sunday morning, or not, sorry, Sunday afternoon now.
Sunday afternoon because shenanigans, but
it's all good. It's all good. But yes. And we're going to talk about some fun thing that happened last weekend.
Yes, but before we do a couple of quick boy band updates. So the Backstreet Boys, as we had mentioned in the previous episodes, are doing the Sphere in Las Vegas. We are currently not going because I'm not going because I'm broke. I don't know.
I'm not going as of yet. I feel like it's going to sell out. So
yeah, no,
probably will not have a chance to go, but
so you
never know. Maybe there will be more tickets available in the coming months.
Yeah, for sure. So they originally announced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They originally announced 9 dates. And then when they were on, I want to say the Today Show or Good Morning America. Was it Today?
It was the Today Show. Yeah.
It was the Today Show. They're like, oh, there's been so many people signing up for like pre-sale access that we've added 3 additional dates. So they are starting on July 11th, which is the day that Millennium 2.0 is coming out. Mm-hmm. And then they added August. it's weekends. So they're like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So July 11, 12, 13, 18, 19, 20, 25, 26, 27. And then during that, before the tickets had even gone on sale, they added the 1st, the 2nd, and the 3rd of August, which is cool. And then when they finally went on sale last week, this week, last week, I don't know. Yes, it would have been last week. They've added August 8th, 9th, and 10th. So I was taking a quick peruse of these, and they're selling really well. And the prices are not crazy. I thought they would actually be more.
I also thought that because the 2017 Vegas residency was crazy. We spent at least between $400 and $500 for pit tickets.
So this, and I guess it's the way that the Sphere is set up, is that sometimes being on the floor is not actually the best view, because part of the whole experience of the Sphere is that this video is kind of like all around you type thing. Although I thought it was like a whole 360. It's not. It kind of just goes up to the top, because then the seats are all built on one side. And then it's whatever. I
feel like the TV or the projection or whatever, the big screen makes you like have a very interactive, I guess, like experience. So that's why people were saying this, the seats were better, like section 200 and section 300, because you get to see the whole screen and you get to see everything. And then I read an article saying like U2 was playing the Sphere, and they're not really like fans are not really watching the band. They're watching everything else.
The visuals and all that.
The visuals. So then I think it was like the drummer or the guitarist. And he was like, so it was a weird experience, but also a cool experience because it's a different venue.
Like a totally immersive. Yeah. The sound quality is really good and everything too.
Yes. And then apparently he was like, they're like moving on the stage, but they're not really moving. So I was like, okay, that's going to be interesting for the Backstreet Boys.
And the stage looks really small. And I don't know if it's just because the area is so big that the stage looks small or what, but it's interesting.
It does look small. So maybe like they'll need to do like a run through to see like how they can do it. Cause if not, maybe we'll see like people falling off the stage. Can you imagine?
That would be funny, but
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
But yeah, basically, obviously we have a lot of hardcore Backstreet Boys fans. They don't give two shits about the visuals and they want to just be as close to the boys as possible.
Hey, I agree. Like I would definitely do GA as well, because you want interaction.
Yes, but for sure.
If you're there, maybe one of the days, if you're going 3 days and one day you just go in the seats to see the whole visual.
That's what we did when we were in Vegas too. We tried, like when we went for the regular residency, we like tried the different pits and then we tried like the seats. And I hated the seats. Like, but again, this was just a regular theater, and I'm short, and of course, a tall person with very large hair was in front of me, and I was like, of course they are, because where else would they be? But anyways,
it was an experience to have, and it was good that we went. And I feel like this basically is what happened last time as well. In 2017, there was 9 dates that they announced, and then they stayed for 2 years and 80 shows. So I don't know if this is repeating themselves because they've added more dates. So we'll see. This will probably be also the fastest growing residency as well.
Yep. No, it sounds like it is. And they're the first pop act in there. So it'll be like a very cool experience.
And I think also it's very nostalgic because I think most fans became big fans during this time. Like obviously most of us became 96, 97. Right. But I think this is the era that people really gravitated towards the Backstreet Boys. It's the height of their popularity. And I think that brings back memories for people. And they're like, yes, let's go do it. Because maybe they haven't seen that show. Because not everyone was lucky back in the day to go see it. That was my first concert to go to. I didn't buy a ticket back then, so I don't have a ticket stub. But my memory is always my cousin's boyfriend, whose husband now, snuck us into the show, and 14-year-old Sophia, made her life at that time.
Yes, so living the dream life.
Living the dream. Hey, however you can get to a show is great. Now they would definitely not do that, but
no, Yeah, for sure. So no, it sounds like a lot of fun. Everyone who's going, have an amazing time. It sounds great.
Yes.
And who knows, maybe the FOMO will kick in and then we'll just be like, well, maybe if we can get a cheap flight or something. But
and
as
there's
of right
also
now,
August, right? So you never know.
That's true.
4 months. Yeah.
It's really hot in Vegas in the summer. So
it really is, yes.
Exciting. Nick alleges that he's still going to be releasing his solo album. He has not given us a date as of yet, but
yes, he did say coming soon. The day after we did our recording.
We did talk about that.
Yes.
Or no? Okay.
No. We said that it might not come out because BSB is priority. But then the next day, after we had mentioned it in our boy band updates, he said coming soon. Yeah. So
I wonder if I can find that.
Maybe that is still happening.
Oh, here it is. I found the picture.
But as you can see, AJ is very quiet about March. So I feel like AJ is a no-go and maybe Nick is still a go.
Yes. So it appears to be called Stages. I don't know if that's the single or if that's the name of the album. I guess it's the name of the album. He's looking very pensive off into the distance in front of the desert road. Like a journey to his life, this road. I don't know. So
because we go through stages in life. We go through stages in the pop music. He's gone through phases. So I guess Stages is like a prequel or a sequel to Who I Am.
Which could be.
Who I Am, yeah.
Who I Am. Yeah, you're gonna get confused with me. Yes. Anyway, so you know what I also really love is that like O-Town put like 4 little fires beside it. Like like O-Town.
I appreciate that O-Town now is like commenting a lot on each boy band member stuff. I think a lot of now more Backstreet Boy stuff. So that's pretty cool.
I feel like like the boy bander communities, like it's going strong, guys. It's going.
I really
like how they support each other. It's delightful.
Yeah, it's very good.
Has also added a few more dates, I believe. I wanted to just share this really quick. So the tickets are not like crazy expensive for like obviously unless you get the official platinum or whatever. But I think the floor tickets were about $210. And like the
Leslie was saying that it was like $210 they spent.
Yeah. So people, it's not bad. So anyways, they also, if you have money,
especially for Vegas, it's like a lot, right? So that's
like obviously there's a whole bunch of resale up now, so I'm sure it's going to be crazy expensive, whatever. But you never know. And there was that hotel package that we went through the last time, so there's that.
Yeah, from Vibe or Vibey, I don't know how you say it.
Or something. I don't know. This I found is kind of interesting though, because this shows up on Ticketmaster as a separate thing on a partner site. And it says Backstreet Boys at the Sphere suite reservation. So, suite, you get one of those like little rooms that you can like chill. And then they have like seats in front of it for however many people the suite is for. And then you can get like drinks and food and all that stuff that you have to pay for on top of that. So if you'd like, you can reserve a suite at the Sphere. I don't know if you can. I don't know why I'm covering it with my hand when it is on the screen so you cannot see. So that's useless. But anyway, so it says, reserve a luxurious suite at the Sphere for the Backstreet Boys. Enjoy an elevated VIP suite experience featuring best in-house box seats and an unforgettable view. Reservation includes admission to Eagles Live. So they didn't even change this because the Eagles is before the Backstreet Boys. So there's this typo on here. Spell check things ahead of time, guys. At the Sphere for 20 guests. 2 VIP parking passes. So apparently your 20 guests are going to be 10 people per car because I don't really know what
they're going to get a minivan and have everybody go in them, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. But even that only holds 7. So I just thought that was
That's true,
yeah. VIP drop-off and expedited suite entrance, suite attendant and private restroom. And then you can buy additional tickets that are standing room only, so they don't have those seats, for $500 a ticket. And they're like, that's the additional price for tickets? How much are the actual suites? So for 20 people, $20,000.
Vegas is a high roller city, right?
It
People
is.
like high rollers. So I guess this would be for them.
So it's about $1,000. I guess if you break it down, it's about $1,000 per person, which again is astronomical. But people, when they did the other ones, they were paying more for those tables, weren't they?
Yes.
So, well, no, I think the tables might have been 3,500. You got 6 people. I don't know. But anyway, so you get this
or 2,500, something like that.
Yes. But yeah, anyways. And then if you want food or beverages, like it costs more. It's like another $150 a person for food and drinks and stuff. So it's like, well, I guess if you're already spending 20 grand, what's an extra $2,000 anyways?
Well, if you're a high roller, this is for you.
Why not? Enjoy your life. If you have any additional tickets and you would like to send it our way, please allow.
Yeah.
We will gladly accept your suite tickets for sure. So. Actually, I feel like the celebrities would probably be sitting in, like, I'm sure there's a whole bunch of suites around, right? So this is probably where they would go.
So are they just watching it on a TV?
No, you actually like, so there's like, I don't know if you've ever been to like one of the suites in like the Rogers Center or something. So it's like a door and then there's chairs in front of it.
Seen it. Okay.
So there's usually like 2 or 3 rows of chairs in front of the suite. And then you can just watch it. Or if you don't want to be like there, you could just be hanging out in the suite. And there's usually like a sofa or something, which again seems weird to me because I, as you know, like to be as humanly close as possible.
I would say like if I would be up there, I would just go down there to enjoy the show.
Yeah. And I know some people, they want to just vibe with their friends and have a fun night out, and that's for them, but that's not my jam, man. Like I really want to be close. Yes. And then the other thing I was going to mention is Joey McIntyre. We reviewed his album a few episodes back.
And we did mention that it would probably be spring that he would do stuff because he had a bit of a window before their Vegas residency. And now he has added some dates. So yay for him.
Yes. So let's grab
And then April 11th, I believe, is the Toronto date. And it is a Friday.
And it is a Friday, so we are thinking of going, but we haven't.
And then last time it was a Tuesday, and that's why we're like, yeah, we're not going to go because people are working, right?
I feel like last time it was at like a place that had seats, and I feel like the cheapest tickets were like 100 and something. So we're just like, we like Joey. Would we like Joey that much? So this is, he's doing the Freedom Tour Phase 1, which sounds like he might be doing different phases. So it's his North American tour.
I appreciate these names, phases, stages, who I am, who am I?
No, they're just these boy banders just doing their thing step by step.
Growing through life, you know?
So they start April 4th in Houston, Texas. Then they go Dallas, Texas, St. Louis, Missouri, Chicago, Illinois, Detroit. Whoa. Why can I not remember the state that Detroit is in? Michigan. I don't think it's supposed to be Mo. I think it's supposed to be MI. April 11th, as Sophia mentioned, is the Toronto show. So that is the only Canadian date. Then they're also going to hit up Cleveland, Ohio, Louisville, Kentucky, Nashville, Tennessee, Birmingham, Alabama, Gainesville, Florida, Savannah, Georgia, Raleigh, North Carolina, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Boston, Massachusetts, and then New York, ending on April 26th. So it's an April tour.
Yes.
Doing some stuff. The tickets are not expensive. The Toronto show is at the Opera House, which I said to Sophia, you saw Cyril Joe there. And then she's like, yes. And you also saw Nick Carter there a few months ago.
That was the last artist we saw there. And then Chinzy was like, right.
Yes. So it's
and it wasn't that long ago that we saw him. It was September, October.
Something like that. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was definitely a few months ago. So, anyways, yeah, it was the end of September. You're right. It was September 30th, I think. So
yeah, and October 4th and 5th.
Yeah. Well, so it's a good venue. When I was looking at tickets, I believe they were only about $46 for the pit. And then
the GA was very cheap. That's usually not that cheap.
And then you can go up and there's like a seated area, which I believe the seats are just kind of first come, first serve. I don't think it's like a specific seat. And I believe they were about 65-ish. So again, not bad. Very decent prices. So that's Joey McIntyre. He probably left another message. I didn't listen, but yeah, so he's doing stuff there. And then I also forgot another on the boy band news, Big Time Rush. Now, we have only had a little bit about them. So they were very big in the States on Nickelodeon. Not as big in Canada. Don't really know. The main one that people know is Carlos Penavega. He used to be in a bunch of movies, and now him and his wife are in a bunch of Hallmark movies and things like that.
That's how I met him. Met them in Hallmark movies. So
yes.
And then I remember Deli was like, yes, I love Big Time Rush. And I was like, oh, cool. He was in a boy band. Good to know.
Yeah, so it was very much like a scripted comedy show, like the Monkees or whatever. So basically they were, I believe, hockey players. And then they, I don't know, went to some audition to become musicians, or one of them wanted to sing. So they ended up getting, I want to say, Florida. And they're like living at a hotel, and it's like shenanigans that they get into with like other like celebrities in the area that are teenagers and stuff living there. So little wacky adventure. I really do want to watch this show, and I feel like it's on one of my streaming services, so I should probably get into that. But anyways, they attempted to do a tour. Was it last year or 2 years ago?
I think it was last year.
And they did have a Canadian date in Toronto, but it sold very poorly, and then it mysteriously got canceled. So now they're doing a US, UK, Europe tour. No Canadian dates. But
so I guess Europe and /UK like them as well, or they think they're going to do better in there than in Canada? Because I have no idea. I didn't know that UK likes them.
Yeah. Well, who knows, right? They have probably fans everywhere.
Well,
but anyways,
good luck
so they
to them.
start
Hopefully they sell well in the Europe.
Yes. So they're going to be starting off in July in Birmingham, Alabama. And then they do Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, Virginia, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, New Hampshire, Ohio. So it's kind of like very East Coasty. Pennsylvania, Darien Lake, I think, is the closest one to us, but it's also on a Tuesday. And then Michigan, Minnesota, Milwaukee, Illinois, Kansas, Texas. They got a few dates there. Oklahoma, New Mexico, Arizona, California, Vegas. So they're basically all of July and August, they're touring around the States. And then they take a bit of a break. And then in November 14th, they go to Vienna, Austria at the Wiener Stadium. I don't know. I just saw that. I started to laugh. It's probably Wiener Stadthalle. So then they do some Germany, Poland, Czechia, Germany, Italy, Switzerland, Spain, France, Belgium, Netherlands, UK, and then they end off in Sophia's homeland of Greece. So
beautiful.
They are playing there. So that's kind of fun. So if you want to go see them, go check it out.
Greece would be a great way to end the tour.
And you know what? Good for them. They get to experience Europe. Like, why the hell not? I'm like, oh, I'll just make some money and make my way across Europe, right? So
why not?
This is the thing. So kudos to them for putting their VIP packages up before the tickets went on sale and actually putting the prices, because a lot of times they don't tell us what these prices are going to be. And then people panic buy VIPs, or they think that they're like, oh crap, I really wanted this, but I can't afford it. So they did put this ahead of time. So I'm just, good for them for setting their own prices, but I don't know, man. Like, kudos if they can sell these. But
I feel like they don't see the big picture. People cannot afford these prices, I don't think. After COVID times and inflation, and we're living in housing crisis, maybe like put it down a little bit. Maybe like $300 could be your price point, and then go up from there.
So they do have different levels, and so that's good that they're kind of giving it to everybody. And you know what? And I know Big Time Rush did take a massive hiatus for many years before they got back together a few years ago. So I feel like maybe the Rushers, is that what they call their fans? I think maybe they just had a lot
Big Rushers, sure,
something like that. But good for them. If you can afford it and you enjoy it, you go for it. So there are VIP upgrades. You do need to buy a ticket ahead of time.
See, I like the way New Kids on the Block do it, or they add the ticket there. Yes, it may cost more, but at least they give it a chance to get a good seating.
True. That is true. Okay, so again, and then the upgrade is one per person, right? So if you have to get, everyone has to get their own, which is very standard for all concerts, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start with the low one. So oh, is the price not showing up anymore? Hold on. Oh, that's annoying. I feel like I had it in a group chat. Okay. Let me just look really quick.
I think it was in the last one.
I think it was too. Okay. So they have 4 levels. So they have the boyfriend one, and that one includes, sorry, I'm just trying to find the price as I scroll up as well as reading this. Oh, okay, here we go. Nope. Got it. Okay. So boyfriend includes exclusive pre-show meet and greet with the members of Big Time Rush. Take a group photo with the members, and they're taken in groups of 4, and each person has to have their own, right? So then, so that's very standard. A lot of boy bands, like when Backstreet Boys do it, it's like groups of 5 because there's 5 of them. New Kids does groups of 10, so it's like 2 people per boy band member. So they try to keep it like, so that's not bad. And if you can find a group of people that like, oh, I really like Logan. Oh, I really like James. I like whatever. So then you're good and you stand next to your guy. Very cool. So
before that, Backstreet Boys used to do like groups of 5, but now you can just do by yourself.
By yourself, yeah, for sure. Yeah. So you get a laminate, early merch shopping, and a VIP on-site person, whatever. So that is $289. So not terrible. That's pretty standard pricing for like indie things. So next level is the famous VIP. So you get an exclusive pre-show meet and greet, which would say a solo picture, and then the laminate and all that jazz. So for that one, it is $399. So for an extra $110, if you don't want 3 strangers in your picture, and that's the other thing. If you don't have a group of 4 for the other one, they're going to just put you in a group of 4 with strangers. So it is what it is. Don't try to scheme it because they're not going to let you do it. They're going to make you be with people you don't know. So yes, for an extra $100, so $399, not terrible. Whatever, you get that one.
Yeah.
The next one, where did that page go? The City Is Ours VIP. So that one is you get the meet and greet, the solo photo. Then you get access to the pre-show huddle with Big Time Rush moments before they hit the stage. And you get to view the sideshow stage for 3 songs in the VIP only area. You get your laminate and all that other jazz. So for that one, it is... So the other one was $399. That one is $829. So basically an extra $400. You get to be there in the huddle, and then you get to watch from the side of the stage for 3 songs. So if you have seats, that's great. If it's a GA concert, kind of sucks for you because you're not going to be able to get close unless you have buddies that are going to save you a spot. But not bad. That's another thing. And then they have.
Well, we also have to think of if it's Canadian dollars, it's also conversion, so it's probably like $1,000.
So, and also really depends on what venue you're at, because sometimes the side stage is good, and sometimes it's obstructed view. They have like the lighting there, they have other stuff. So, like it's a cool experience, but sometimes it's better. Like when I do the VIPs. With the please and thank you people, some people don't want to do the side stage thing, even though they've paid extra, because it's a general admission concert and they don't want to lose their seat or whatever. So fair enough and whatever. So, and I had one guy who broke his leg right before the show. So he's like, I can't hobble up these stairs and whatever. So he just stayed front row, and he was like, which was fine. And then the Palm Woods VIP, it includes everything else. So it has whatever. But then you also, so you get to hang out in a VIP lounge with the band. not sure how long it is.
Remember we did a VIP lounge in Vegas, and it was just like some
my God, some
water.
Walmart, yes.
I think it was like crispy something.
Yes, Rice Krispie Squares.
Rice Krispie Squares, yeah. And we were like, wow, that's great.
So this
I think it was granola bars too. I think there was like granola bars. I think
there was some granola bars. I stole as much as possible. I'm like, I paid a lot for this VIP. I'm going to take whatever. But yeah, basically this one, allegedly you're going to hang out with the band, so that's kind of cool. And then you get cast photo with members of Big Time Rush and Caitlin Tarver, who played Joe Taylor, and Stephen Kramer Glickman, who played Gustavo. So these were two of the main characters on the TV show. And then
obviously, if you're a huge fan of Big Time Rush, this is amazing. If you're a huge fan of the show, this is going to be like a great thing that you want to do.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. I feel like if iCarly was doing something, I'd be like, oh, that's kind of fun. I would like to take a picture with all of these people. But I also think it's kind of funny because I don't know if those two people actually are musicians or not. Are they literally just touring with them to take pictures with people backstage, or are they actually doing something with the show? I don't know.
Are they singers? I'm not sure. I haven't. I don't know. I didn't watch.
I have no idea. I don't know if they're.
So I'm not sure what they're doing. I guess they just need to make some money too, and they're like,
you know what?
Why don't you join us?
Sure. Why not? I think that's kind of interesting. I don't know if they're like hosting the show or so. I don't really know. I think it's kind of funny. But anyways, that one is $1,200. So quite the pretty penny, but. You know, if that's your jam.
But if that's your band, once in a lifetime opportunity to get, and this is your only chance, I understand you're going to want to do it. Why not?
Yes.
You save up the money. Maybe this is like years in the making for you. And I understand why you want to do it.
Right. Exactly. You know, YOLO, treat yourself, live your life.
Make those memories, make those life experiences happen.
Exactly. So my other last update before we actually get to the show, which is very what I was talking about, but the boy band 5, the British boy band 5, who have recently got together as a group of 3. They did not change their name to 3.
Are they back to 5 or now it's still 3?
Well, we don't know. So Sean, Rich, and Sean, J-A-B, Rich, Scott, and Sean are the ones who have been touring together, those 3. So they've been doing that. Jay and Abs have left the group, and then I don't know what's going on. But now, I should probably share the screen.
Because how is it 5 if it's only 3?
It's still the band. How is O-Town still O-Town when there's 4 members instead of 5, right?
I guess.
But anyways. A couple of days ago, they posted, so this is British, so it's backwards. So it says 27/02/25. So in North America, this would be February 27, 2025. And then it says loading, ... It's 5official.com. But they're spelling 5 with an F instead of the number sign. But anyways, they posted a video the other day where it's just like, people like walking at a train station or a bus station or somewhere, and it's like in the background there's lyrics that they're playing that keep on moving, on anyway. We'll keep moving on anyway. So that's the little ad they got going on there, and then looks like they posted another ad that says when the rainy days are dying. So they've been putting ads up. So, and then I guess the members have and 5. So that's the only 2 things that are showing on their webpage. They've deleted all previous pictures. And apparently Abs also did that on his page and blacked it out. So this is a very strong indication that Abs is probably coming back to 5. We don't know about Jay. Apparently Jay's not on social media. But this is on the 27th, which I believe is Thursday. So yes, so that's exciting. Be nice. Maybe new music, maybe a tour. Would be great if they came to North America. I told my friend Gina, who's like a huge 5 fan, she's like losing it. She's like, oh my God, because we saw them I believe we were about 15 years old when they played at Canada's Wonderland. And then we had that embarrassing sign that we didn't actually know what it meant. Because we were using British terms and we thought it meant drop your pants, but it actually meant drop your underwear. And we're like, oh God. And we're like, oh, look, Five's waving at us and pointing. And we're like, we had no idea what the heck we wrote. So anyways.
I remember that story. That's a very entertaining story.
Yes, they have lots of great songs. Funny. So good. So it would be awesome if they came back. Yeah, it would be so good. So fingers crossed that it's exciting news and it's not just like, here's a song. And we're like, okay, great. Thank you. So, and we're only going to stay in the UK, which is what they normally do with their own stuff anyways. But who knows? Would be fun. Okay, so finally, to the point of this conversation, speaking of boy banders just randomly announcing shit, I signed up for, as I had mentioned, I have all these little random community, so it looks like boy banders are text messaging you and they're really just like, there's team or whatever.
On the previous episode, we did mention that Jonas Brothers are doing stuff in Toronto.
Yes, so we had said, like, we haven't been able to see them. They've been filming their movie. I think it must be for Disney. I don't know if it's for Disney or Netflix, but they're filming a Christmas movie in Toronto. They've been showing up at random events. They've been doing other things. We have not spotted them, whatever. And we're like, okay, whatever. And by the way,
Twitter, they announced like a Toronto show. I think we said this in the previous episode.
Possibly. It had just been announced.
So they had mentioned it in the Twitter that they were doing a show for $20 at Massey Hall in Toronto. So and then they have a pop-up shop as well. I think, we mentioned everything last episode.
We did mention it. So it was Jonas Brothers, 20 years, 20 songs, 2,000 tickets, 20 o'clock, which is 8 o'clock, $20. They're like, and then they had the pop-up shop. They also have the Jonas Con. We have not heard any updates on that yet. But that sounds like a lot of fun. It's in New Jersey, a little bit of a hike for us. It's about 8 hours drive. So I don't know if we're going to go. 12 hours by bus, but only an hour and a half by plane. So who knows? Anyways, so they're doing that. So they ended up doing this thing. So I ended up going with Diane and then our friend Amanda as well ended up coming. So it was a blizzard that day. And we're just like, is this even happening? I don't know. Whatever, we'll see what happens. We're like, Toronto is very, very transit friendly, so we figured it probably won't be canceled. But
I think it helped that they're in Toronto still. If they had to take a flight into Toronto, I feel like they would have canceled it.
Would have been canceled. But
so I feel like because they're still in Toronto, that's why it was a go still.
Yes. So we ended up going to their pop-up. So, and like a stupid idiot, I just assumed the pop-up shop was near the venue because that makes sense to me. Like, oh, it's right. Oh, maybe they put it in the lobby. You can go in early, shop, and then whatever. Not the case. No, it was like totally on the opposite end of Toronto. It was just like, where the hell am I? I don't even know. There were streetcars involved and subways, and I was like, I don't. Thank you, Google Maps. Then we ended up cheating and taking an Uber the last little bit because we're just like, I don't know where we're going. Can I just say kudos to you, by the way, for taking Toronto public transit on a daily basis? Because there's some interesting characters there.
There sure is. Can you experience those interesting characters in the morning and in the evening of a commute home and there to work?
I did not post the last one, but remind me at the end of this to tell you this. You know what? I'm just going to tell the story now because I'm going to forget. So we were trying. So our friend Amanda had to go up the really far line, and then we were here. So we actually, she could go up and then like switch trains and go the other way. Or if we stayed on, we loop around and then she could go all the way there. And then we got off the train and went somewhere else. So we were fine on the train ourselves separately. Then we separated and then she continued on her journey and she's like, oh my God, there's this crazy lady. And she has like video of this lady just like screaming and yelling and singing and just marching up and down and just no offense, I don't use the word crazy, unwell person who was just,
there's a lot of mental health problems going on.
Yes. Unhoused people, whatever. So there was a guy when we were there. So this girl was sitting by herself with pizza on her lap, like just in, like not like in a pizza box. So he like wanders over to her and sits down beside her and he's like, can I have some pizza? And she's just like, okay, sure. So that she like opens it up to like go give him a slice and he's like, what's that? And she's just like, oh, this is like vegan pizza or whatever. And he's like, there's no meat on there? And she's like, no, there's no meat on. He's like, what's that? She's like, oh, this is like vegan cheese. Like it's similar to mozzarella. Like it doesn't stretch as much, but it's like, it's pretty good pizza. He's like, and there's no meat on there? She's like, no, it's vegan. He's like, oh, I don't want any of that. And then he walked away. And I was just like, this man is starving. And even him, he won't eat vegan pizza. But I was like, okay, this is awkward and weird.
But she said, okay. I would have been like, no, this is my pizza.
Yeah, she was like, I was like, we were kind of keeping track to see like if anything, like if she needed help or anything. But then he was just like, oh, like, great. So anyways, that's not the story. So then he was on there. Though. Then this other lady comes on and she's just, and again, it's winter, it's gross. It's really smelled very much like urine that had stale or whatever. And then she just gave him some vegan pizza. Non-vegan pizza guy she gave him some cigarettes. He got off on the next stop, whatever. Then this other guy comes and sits down and we think nothing of it, and then we just hear what, and then he just starts throwing up all over, and we're like, what are we like, what do we do? And like, what do you do like in the future? Like,
you don't do
some sort of like button you're supposed to press. Like
there's like an emergency. There's an emergency handle like on the top there where it says like press this yellow button for emergency.
And then like, is this considered an emergency that he's puking? Like he's not having a heart attack. He's not passed out. He's still fully awake. He's just puking. Sat up again. Was like, and then just started puking again. And we're like, this puke is gonna like land on us. So we ended up just like getting off on, and there was nobody in the train, like there's no conductor person. So then we just got off, went into the next car because we were almost at the end anyways where the train line stops. So we thought, okay, well maybe, and then there's apparently like there's cameras there so people can see that. But I'm like, I don't know what we're supposed to do. Like, are we supposed to
usually you would press the yellow button, the yellow like top part of the button.
I wasn't sure if that was an actual emergency or not.
Well, I feel like people press it like if people are like fainted or people like fell.
Right. I feel like if the person passed out or something, but he wasn't passed out. He was just casually just puking. And I'm like, but that's
on
like,
you. That's gross, right?
Yeah.
Like,
so we're just like,
and
I
it's
don't
like,
know.
It's on the ground. I don't know. I feel
and
like
right. And like, and it was getting to like the last thing. So I feel like somebody was going to come on and hopefully clean it. But I'm like, I also don't know. Like, I didn't want to press it because it also said like, don't press this because they'll fine of whatever. And I'm like, I didn't want to get fined money, but I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm in a really awkward, and I'm trained in first aid. So if he had passed out or something, then yes, but he wasn't. So I'm like, I don't know.
I feel like people press it. I feel like people press it, but
yeah, I was just like, I haven't taken a subway in years. So, okay. So in the future, I should just press that.
Yeah, because like, I feel like if somebody's puking, they could puke.
But I wasn't sure, like, is it like an emergency stop? Like as soon as I press it, the thing just stops, or does it just?
Yeah, it just stops and then someone will come.
Okay. All right.
But also if you're in a hurry to go there, I understand also why you don't press it.
Yeah, because we're just like, okay, we're like one stop away from the end of the line. So do we just like wait it out? I don't know. Like it was anyways.
Yeah.
Anyways, hopefully that guy got help and he's
doing okay to go somewhere. But also I think it's under your discretion.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't really know what to do in this situation. I was like, I'm very like confused because like on the GO train it says text this phone number, like text this number and then somebody will come, or go to like the medical the thing which is the ability card. So like they always say that. So I'm like, I don't know what the actual protocol is for TDC. So that's good to know. So in the future, just press the yellow thing and then okay.
Yes.
All right.
But I feel like people, if they're in a hurry, they don't press it because they're like, we don't want to stay here for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, however long it will take. Because sometimes they could maybe say this train is out of service and then you're shit out of luck.
Oh yeah, they definitely would have to put it out of service to like clear that up. So like,
yes, so I understand.
Anyways, I was also very tired. It was very confusing. I didn't know what the heck. Anyways, that has nothing to do. That was the end of the night. So let's put a little back to the Jonas.
So lots of adventure even before
lots of adventure. You know, that's so that was so anyway. So we ended up. Oh, I should probably shoot.
This is why when I was in New York with you and you're like, oh my God, these people are crazy. I'm like, this is like normal Toronto. Like this didn't faze me at all. Like it did not faze me in New York.
Does not faze
because I see crazy people like every day.
Every day. It's just every day. So anyway, so I took the GO bus because I was like, I'm not driving to Toronto in this. This is ridiculous. Also, I ended up parking underground at my workplace, and I'm like, because it was snowing, it was really bad weather. So I'm like, okay.
Yes, that weekend it was supposed to snow.
Like
it snowed Thursday, and then Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, it was bad.
It was bad, and I couldn't even get like to my house when I finally came back because it was so bad. I ended up taking the bus back, falling in a snowbank because they didn't clear the things, and then nothing was cleared. I had to walk on the road, and once I got to my house, like the snow was well above my knee, so there was no way that my car would have been able to get in there. So I had to, and then it was just like a big scuffle to try to get it back. Anyways, so it's still there, but hopefully we get some rain this week that'll melt some of the snow, so that'll be good. Anyway,
we also need sun. Like, give us some sun as well. It
would be great for sure. So, so the pop up ended up being at this archive, I guess, fashion club. It was, I can't remember where it was. Oh, 780 King Street West. So it was just like a little thing. They had 2 security guards there. Basically, the Uber dropped us off again in a snowbank that was higher than my waist, and I'm like, I don't know how to. My legs do not move this high. And I found
you have to climb a snowbank, probably, right?
It was a fiasco, but yes,
it was quite the adventure already.
Quite the adventure.
And then I saw like a video of like the huge line for the pop-up shop.
Oh, okay.
People were very like nostalgic for it.
So when we got there, excited. There was no line because it was like closer to the end of it. But yeah, it's pretty good. So they had like all these...
yeah, there was lots of people there, and they were waiting in the snow. I saw like lots of people on Twitter were like saying they only do this for Jonas Brothers.
Yeah, legit, seriously. And then also the interesting, because I know sometimes the Jonas Brothers pop up at these things, so I thought maybe people might think that maybe they might show up. As far as I know, they didn't, but who knows?
They did not show up. I feel like because it was snowing, that's why.
Yeah, so basically it had a bunch of like pictures of them, and it had like some old merch. So it was like vintage merch. So yeah, I took that. They had these sticker packs. So these 3 stickers, so you get one of each color, was $25. And that was the cheapest thing that they had there. I did end up buying one because I figured, okay, whatever. But t-shirts and hats were $65 each.
Wow.
The tote bags were $35. So I did take a picture of all the t-shirts. So these are just like over the years, like 2007, 2008. Look at their hair. Look at the scarves. It's so funny. So
the phases of their music times, right?
Yeah, for sure. So it's funny to see. So yeah, here's all of the shirts. Some of them are crop, some are whatever. The cheapest one was like a tank top that was $60. But yeah, basically everything else was $65.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, that's a lot of money for like vintagey stuff. And I'm like, do they just like keep a bunch of crap in boxes and be like, oh, let's just do a pop-up? Like, and I get it. You have to pay for the pop-up. They had 2 security guards. They had like 4 or 5 people like doing. But there still seemed to be quite a bit of that there. Apparently there was also a hoodie, but that sold out right away. So yeah, so then that's all the t-shirts, all their various hairstyles. This was the hoodie that they had that sold out. And I'm like, but then why do you still have it on display? Like, you could sell that one too. But I'm like, okay, whatever. It's not me. I'm not the one here. And then they had this like old school TV that you could take a picture of. I don't actually know what the point of this TV was. So like, okay.
Maybe for it to be a fun time, a fun thing to do, take photo. I don't know.
I guess. Yeah. So that was the answer.
Why does anyone do anything, really?
Why does anyone do anything? So then we thought it would be funny. So this is a sticker. I just put it on my black shirt. So it made it look like I had a Jonas Brothers shirt. So I'm like, look at me. I'm wearing, and I love Jonas Brothers. So then we thought it'd be kind of funny to recreate the pictures of the guys on the wall.
Why not? If you're not buying merch, might as well make it a fun experience.
We're like, we made it here anyways. Might as well. Like, there's very little to do in this pop-up store. But yeah, so trying to make the faces and stuff. Like, it was just pretty funny. We're just like fucking nerds. So we went to the thing and we went to Fran's, which was right across the street because it was at Massey Hall.
Yeah.
It was at Massey Hall, yeah. So this is part of the lineup. So we were sitting across the street where you could see like where it says Fran's. So we're like, when we pulled up, we saw production trucks and we're like, oh, they might be shooting some shit for the video, for their movie. So we're like, this is interesting. But yeah, they let people in around 8:00. So we were like just eating there and like, it's freezing and snowing and we don't want to stand out in the snow. So we're just going to do this. So then, so we're like, oh, Amanda went out to smoke. She's like, oh, it's just to the end of the block. It's fine. We're like, oh, okay. Also, fun fact. Hold on 1 second. Let me just blow my nose really quick. Right. I saw a guy who used to work for EMI. His name is Kevin. And I ran into him at the CCMAs in Hamilton a couple of years ago. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if he still remembers me. He's like, hey, you used to work at Country 95.3. And I was like, yeah. So then I ran into him when I went to Edmonton. And he was there as well. So he was like, hey, and we like hugged and shit. So then as we were leaving France, I saw the back of his head. I'm like, I think that's Kevin. I'm like, oh, I don't know if it's him or not. I don't know, whatever. So as I like walked out, we walked by, there was like, they were at the windows and they were like all looking out at the crowd. And I saw it was him. So I was like waving and he's like waving back. And I was like, oh, look at that. Apparently he works with Universal now, I think. But yeah, so anyway, so we like walked to the corner. We're like going to cross the street and get in line. No, because this line went all the way down the block. We were walking almost all the way to the end of this giant Toronto City block and then had to turn around and come back. But like they did process people quickly, but it was like a good 15, 20 minutes in line just walking to get there so it was kind of crazy, but it's good times. So they actually had a coat check, thank God. And they actually had merch here. And it was t-shirts and they were only $20. And I was like, okay, for $20, why the hell not? So this is the front.
So they're doing $20 because 20 years.
Yeah. So it's the 20th anniversary. So here is the front of the shirt. And then there's the back of it.
And then everyone on Twitter was like, you should do all the shows like this in every city for $20.
You legit be great. So it says Jonas Brothers, 20 years, 20 songs, Toronto, 2/15/25. So they had that, and they also had a little poster. I'm like, what the fuck do we do with posters? So good amount of sizing. So everybody got sizes, whatever. So then we get in, and it's GA. Because we didn't get the seats up there. So we're there, and they wanted to stand center, but I am short and whatever. So then there was probably like about 10, 15 rows back at that point. But I'm like, let's try the side stage. So I went to the side stage, and then we were 3 rows back, and I was like, this is what Shinzia likes. But then there was like some production-y people there too. So they had this DJ, I can't remember his name. This was when everybody was sitting. It's a really cute little venue. And apparently this is one of the oldest venues in Toronto, Massey Hall.
I feel like we went to Massey Hall before for somebody maybe.
So I think so too. But yeah, it was built in the 1800s. So it's pretty cool looking building. So we're there. So they started off and they were just showing a bunch of like, Jonas video, like old
going
pictures
through the years of the Jonas Brothers.
So that was kind of cool. It was a little late starting. But yeah, so you're like, okay, that's cool, whatever. Okay, so there's just a whole bunch of those. Then more people started coming. Yada, yada, yada. Then look how close. Look how close, man.
That's awesome.
Oh, no, my computer now freezes and I don't know what's going on. Oh no. Hold on.
But that's awesome that you were that close to get that interaction.
Yeah, so it was still like, and it was our friend Amanda had never actually been to a Jonas Brothers concert before. She was just starting to get into them. So we're like, well, this is a really good first time for you, right? Looks like Joe's even looking at us. Yeah, I don't know. I was just like very much like staring at Joe's crotch, and I was like, "Wow, he's adult, right?"
Well, it's right there. But what else are you gonna do? I understand.
It was just there, man.
It was just there. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, so, what am I gonna do? Oh, I wrote the set list. Sorry, I forgot to. I should bring that up too. So,
do you want to share your photos first, and then
it's like 20 songs is not bad. Oh yeah, sure. Let's do that. Okay. So yeah. Oh my God, he's actually like looking in these ones or around us. Joe came by a lot. I think it's because he doesn't have he's not really playing an instrument, so he was definitely moving around. But even Kevin came to our side too. So nice. Apparently my phone just likes Joe. Apparently there's Nick. We got some Nick.
Well,
yeah, so they kept the same
outfit. We're gonna get a lot of photos of them. Yeah.
We're gonna get a lot of photos. There's Kevy Kev. Just smirking around, doing his thing. Yeah. Okay, so then that was okay. So I'll stop there. We'll stop at this. Okay, so I'm just gonna get to the set list. Notes.
So what time did it start? Guys. You said it started late. What time? 9?
It started like it wasn't like super late. It was like 8:06 or something. So we're okay, that's fine. It wasn't too bad. The DJ was DJ Delisa. He had some pretty good tunes there. So they started the show. Oh, so sorry, I was gonna say that. I was like, are they gonna play for like an hour? Like, what is this? So normally their concerts are about 33 songs long, and they did 20. So I'm like, for $20, I'm not complaining. Like, that's great. So they started with Play My Music, which I believe is from Camp Rock. And then I was like, okay, I kind of know this song because they've played it a few times. Sophia, the very second song and I knew they were going to play this song, but I fucking lost my mind.
Oh my God, I know which one it is.
Do you want to guess what song it is?
Is it Year 3000?
It is Year 3000, my friend. I was losing it and singing at the top of my lungs. I'm pretty sure I lost my voice immediately from that song. And I was just like, what? Like, I don't understand what came over me during that moment. And I don't know, like when we were younger, obviously when you're at concerts and they would tell you to jump and stuff, you would jump. Now that I'm older and fat and have like bad legs, I feel like instead of like jumping, I just kind of like do this thing where I like almost like squat.
Pretend to jump. Yeah, pretend
so, like,
to jump.
Your feet are touch and you're still bobbing up and down, but your feet are not leaving the ground. You're just like bobbing up and down.
I also do that because I'm
my friend. For Year 3000, I was just like jumping like a nutcase. Like, I don't even.
To be fair, it is a good song, and that is your favorite. I remember every time we went to a Jonas Brothers concert, you lost your mind. Right so now. I understand,
right? Because that first Jonas Brothers concert we went to, I was like basically falling asleep because I didn't know the song, and that song came up, and I was like, "Woo!" So like, yeah. So, anyways. Still a fantastic song. So anyway,
still losing your mind kind of song. Yes.
Oh my God. It was like, I was just like out of body experience. I'm like, what am I doing right now? Like, what is going on? I was just like, ah! Also,
it brings you joy. The little things. That song brings you joy.
Oh my God. There's this girl behind us though. Like she was like hardcore Joe Bro fan. And she was just like losing her mind throughout the entire concert. Like she was just like, oh, it's good times. There's good vibes in there. It was good vibes.
Good vibes.
Anyways, the next song was their new song, Slow Motion. I believe that's the one with Marshmello.
Yep.
Yeah. So they did that. So that was the so like
that's a good song.
It is a good song. I really like it. So then they were kind of just like chatting about like the last 20 years and all the stuff they've done or whatever. Then they were kind of chatting about like going to Waffle Houses and all that stuff. So guess what the next song was?
Waffle.
Yes, it was Waffle House. So we were singing along to that. And then they said again, like, hey, we've been in Toronto for about a month and a half. We're filming a Christmas movie. So they were like talking about like how great it is, obviously, and how like it's like coming back home for them because they shot at Camp Rock there, which Camp Rock was not in Toronto. I believe it was like the Muskoka area, but like in the vicinity. So they're just saying like how much they really love this area and they really like filming.
Toronto is a pretty good city, you know.
Yeah, so it was a good little chit chat. So then the next song they did was SOS, also a good song. And then they did Leave Before You Love Me, which is a newer song. So then Joe was talking. And he was like reading signs, which is funny because they actually had a somewhere saying that you weren't allowed to bring in signs, but I guess some people did. So he was reading some sign and chatting to the shitty part is when they do this, you can't hear what the person in the crowd is saying. So it was kind of like an awkward thing. But basically this girl, she was like, I don't know, like film. So he ends up like taking her phone to like, I don't know, record or something. But it was locked, but she had
he asked for the number.
Yeah, asked for the passcode. So
yes, I saw that on Twitter, the video.
Oh my God, so funny. He's like, okay. He's like, you don't need to shout it out. Like everyone's gonna know your passcode. And he was just like, it was just really funny, but also like how else was he gonna get it without her shouting it? Because there was like this big like gap in between the stage. So like, you know, when photographers go in and stuff. So we weren't up against the stage. So it was probably about the width of a sidewalk. It was pretty wide from where they were. Anyway, so then as she's doing this, apparently somebody rang her Ring doorbell at this time. So then he's like chatting to this like person on the other side of the ring. holy shit, it was so funny. Like, it was like the funniest thing ever. And he was just being,
that's hilarious.
Like, okay,
well, that's a great memory for her. Look at that.
Right. And then he's like, okay, now what's the first thing you're going to do? And she's like, no, you're going to change your password because you got to change. Like, it was just really funny. I was like, okay, no, Joe, whatever.
I wonder if she changed it or not.
So yeah, probably, who knows? She's like, oh, Joe knows my password. So then they did like a medley of songs. I wasn't sure if these should count as individual songs or not. I don't really know. But they did Hello Beautiful, World War III, and then another song. So I believe this one I did on Facebook Live. I've decided that I'm not going to do Facebook Live anymore because I feel like we don't get as many viewers as when we do Instagram Live, which again it's not like millions of people are watching, but I feel like sometimes there's 0 and other times there's like 5, and I'm like, okay. So yeah, so we did that. And then there was song was like When You Look Me in the Eyes. I think that's the name of the song.
Mm-hmm.
So there was that. Then number 9 was What a Man Gotta Do. Also a delightful song.
A good song, yeah.
Good song. Then another classic song. Number 10, they did Love Bug.
Mm-hmm.
Then number 11 was Only Human. So that was from a more recent album. Then
Happiness Begins, one of my favorites. Yep.
That was a good one. Then they did another classic song, Burning Up.
Yep.
Another one. Yes, so that's good. It was weird to not have flames because normally when they perform that song, there's fire shooting out. But I guess
that would have been good because it's cold outside and then you keep yourself warm with fire.
Exactly. So then 13, Hey, We're Gonna Be All Right. I put a question mark because I'm not sure if that's what it's called. Then number 14, they did Jealous. Then 15, they did Cake by the Ocean. And then they're like guitar player, bassist. There's a girl there. I think she was in DNCE with Joe because she always like comes up during this song and like plays like at the front. So yeah. So then and then number 16, I believe it was the Camp Rock song. So it's like, Gotta Find You, This Is Real, This Is Real, This Is Me, This Is, yeah. So it's like, so that was good. That was a good song. So then they were like talking about New Jersey. And then they said they wrote this song to get signed. And it was called Please Be Mine. So they did that. And then they played a new song. I believe I have this on our YouTube. It's called Love Me to Heaven.
Yes, so I saw like, on Twitter as well.
Yeah, they're like, this is the first time we're going to play this song.
And then Joe Bros fans who weren't able to be there were like losing their minds on Twitter. They were like, oh my gosh, a new song. So it was very exciting for them to hear a new song.
Yes, apparently we do have it. I did record most of it, and it's already at 1,600 views. So if you want to go to our Boy Band Break
Wonderful.
YouTube. So I did the intro. They did Slow Motion. I have Love Me to Heaven. They also did a cover of the Cranberries' Dreams. They did that one. I have that up there. I have the intro and Play My Music. So the first, like the beginning of the show I have, and then I have them talking and then playing SOS. So go check that out. That is at Boy Band Break. So okay, anyway, so after that, and that was a good song, they started talking about Times Square and New Year's Eve, and then how they like to do a cover of songs of different artists. So that's when they did that Cranberry song, Dreams. It was pretty good. So then at this point, the show is almost over. The director comes out from the movie, and they're like, hey, I'm director of the movie, surprise, you guys are going to be in we're going to film for this movie. So we're going to do Sucker, and then we're going to do this Christmas movie. So we're going to hand out Christmas stuff, but hide it to do Sucker and then put the Christmas stuff on. And I'm like, that's really stupid. Why would they do that? So they had started handing it out, and then somebody was like, that's really stupid. Don't hand out the Christmas stuff now. So they're like, oh, okay, never mind. We're going to hand it out after Sucker. So we're going to do 2 versions. We're going to record it twice. So just show lots of energy, blah, blah, blah. So obviously Sucker's a classic, great song.
Sucker is a very good song. Yes.
The little clapping and all
clapping,
that jazz.
Yeah.
Yes. So they
get you hyped up.
Yes. So where we were, also there was a guy standing beside us in a blue shirt smiling at us. He appeared. So I think he's an actor in the movie because then they ended up moving him into the crowd. So I don't think we're going to be in the movie because we were on the edge. I think it'll just be like the main crowd and above. But they had so they had a guy with like a camera kind of like going back and forth on stage, and then they had kind of like one of those cameras that are on strings that kind of like went over the crowd to kind of like do that, like they do at like football games and stuff, like that type of camera.
Yeah.
So they did Sucker twice.
Crane, I believe, a crane shot.
Kind of. It's on like a pulley system. I don't really know. Anyway, so they did that. And then these people came out and they're like, okay, we're going to Christmas it up. So he's like telling us what to do. And then they had these, I think she's actually the director, I believe. So they had these like t-shirt cannons and they were like shooting t-shirts into the crowd. And they had like these giant Dollarama bags and they were just like throwing out stuff. So they had red and green t-shirts. They had Santa hats. They had some of those like light up necklaces. I think that's basically what they had. So basically they were doing that. So Amanda got a hat first. So we're doing that. And then, so then we all ended up getting hats. And then we basically took the t-shirts because I don't think they were going to give them to us. But so then I got a t-shirt. So it says, I believe it says Jingle Bros and it has their faces on it. So
wonderful.
Cool. I was like, yeah, well, for $20, whatever. So basically this show was a way for them to get a bunch of extras and not have to pay for extras. By like just offering cheap tickets and being like, hey, you're going to be, and they put up signs saying like, you're in this movie, whatever. Right. So we're like, all right.
So $20 admission, well worth the pay.
I think it was well worth it. Yeah. So we had agreed. Well, that was really bad. So then while they were throwing out all this Christmas stuff, so people had it, the boys went and they changed into like Christmassy attire. So they had like red jackets and things. And then they sang that you make every day feel like it's Christmas.
That's one of their
such a good song. And
it's a great Christmas song. I love it. One of my favorite Christmas songs.
And then they had like the little like confetti come down like white snow. So yeah, it was very cute. It was very fun. So they shot that
snowing inside and snowing outside.
Yeah. So I was like trying to get like the cameraman and stuff because like they had a bunch of cameras on stage. They had like so they had this guy over here doing like the front shots. They had so it was definitely like a lot going on. And then and then they're like, yeah, come to Jonas Con and whatever. So it was just like a very nice. Like it was very cool. It was a very fun event. I squeezed myself into this t-shirt. It was so this is basically, it said public filming notice consent. Three Brothers TV Productions will be filming at Massey Hall today. By your presence here, you consent to being depicted and otherwise recorded and agree that Three Brothers TV Productions may use and grant the right to others to use your voice, name, likeness, identification, and actions without limitation or restriction and without payment to you of any kind for all purposes, including advertising and promotions in any way, all media, now known and later televised throughout the universe in perpetuity and in all languages. So so if this goes to Mars and the aliens watch it, we can't get money from them. In any language, all such photographs and sound recordings shall be at the sole property of Three Brothers TV Productions. You understand that Three Brothers TV Productions is proceeding in reliance upon this notice and consent in connection to its production and activities here. If you do not wish to give such consent, you may remain out of range of the camera and sound recording equipment. Any failure to do so will be conclusively deemed as a waiver of any and all rights you might assert. So basically that was like, hey, you're doing this. So anyways, super fun. I don't know when it's, I also like to just point out that I was mentioning to my uncle who was in Argentina on vacation. And I said, hey, I got these tickets to this Jonas Brothers thing. He's like, oh yeah, they were at my work the other day. And I was like, what? So my uncle works in Hamilton at, it was called Tim Hortons Field. We just changed the name. I don't actually know what the new name is. Ivor One Stadium. Basically where the Hamilton Tiger Cats play. So apparently they did a quick video or they filmed in the stadium that day. And I was like, did you not feel the need to tell your favorite niece that a boy band was in town? And he's like, I didn't even think. I'm like, he didn't get to see them. But yeah, apparently they did some production in Hamilton too. So it was like Toronto, Hamilton stuff. So
that's fun.
I'm impressed because I would thought that this would have just been like a really cheap, low budget like movie. But it sounds like they actually had quite a bit going on.
Yeah, because usually like Hallmark movies are 3 weeks usually.
Yeah,
but
like
this one, I guess, because it's Disney,
so.
maybe they're doing high-end stuff, and that's why it's taking longer.
And they seem to have quite a bit of production team with them. So I'm going to assume that it's going to come out probably like November, December-ish. I think that's when Christmas.
Yeah, around Christmas time. It will be nice to have it's Christmas of Joe Bros.
Yes. So, also, fun tidbit is that it was actually taking place, like the scenery for this is actually in London, England. So apparently this is supposed to be London. Because they're like, now we know you're in Toronto, so don't be surprised when they come out and say, "Good morning, London," or whatever. And I was like, okay. So yeah. So they were like,
so you're basically acting as if you're not in Toronto.
Yes. So
look at you guys. See,
pretending to put on a British accent. It was very funny.
Actors in the making over here.
Yes, we're like, we love the Jonas Brothers. Like terrible accents, terrible. But yes, obviously, we're not going to be in the movie regardless. But it was still funny, and we had a good time. So yeah, so that was like a fun random surprise. So that's kind of cool. Kind of makes me want to go to Jonas Con. I don't know yet. I feel like we'll see. We'll see when they announce the other stuff that they're doing. But it sounds like fun. I just wish it wasn't a Sunday. I wish it was a Saturday. Because I feel like then we would have time, wouldn't have to take time off work or whatever. I don't know. So I don't know. Joe Bro, man. Anyways, fun time. Lots of boy bandy stuff is happening.
Sounds like fun was had.
Every
and
time.
on Twitter too, everyone had a great time as well. So that's awesome to see.
I saw on Twitter, Sophia had retweeted a bunch of things. One girl flew in from New York in a blizzard to attend this event. Some of the people that were standing out there they were there from 1:00 in the afternoon. So they stayed 7 hours in a blizzard to get front row at the thing. So crazy, but you know what? You got to do what you got to do. I'm like, you know what? I probably would have.
If you want the spots to have good interaction, that's what you do, right?
Exactly. And they had full on, they were right front row. So good for them. But man, it was definitely cold and slushy and gross that day. So
I understand them. We've done that a few times for
things we do for boy bands.
So
things we do for sure.
I understand.
So. But yeah, it's crazy. And the tickets that people were reselling tickets to this event at freaking $500. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't know. But good times. So yeah, so lots of boy bandy stuff coming as per usual. Every time we record, more. Stay tuned. Next week's episode, we'll tell you what the heck 5 is doing, and that'll be announced by then. Check our social medias. We retweet and repost when we see stuff. So yeah.
That's right.
2025 is shaping up to be a really good boy band year. So lots of good stuff going on.
Lots of things to come.
Yes. All right. Well, okay. I guess that's about it. So thanks for taking a break with us, guys.
Until next time.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.